Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. In this video today, I want to be going over some spicy LCS/LEC2, I guess, drama. This is the drama that went down between Jensen and Alphari. Now, this is a couple weeks old, and I know there's going to be some people that are like, oh, this is 2 weeks old. Like, why are you talking about this? Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I don't care. I wanted to talk about it right away, and I still do want to talk about it now, but there's been a lot of offseason stuff to talk about the last couple of weeks, and I can only make so many videos, and just because this is a couple weeks old doesn't mean it's any less worth talking about, any less funny, any less interesting. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video today, because I think there is some interesting points to make about this whole thing, not only about what both guys said, but also what it kind of shows us about what's going on in their futures as well. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate that a ton. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content, and consider checking out the first link in the description below for the Patreon if you guys want to get early access to all the videos before they go live on YouTube, or just help support me, my channel, and my content. With that being said, let's get right into this. So this all starts, this whole little fiasco starts during the C9 EG series. This is a co-stream Doublelift, Jensen, and LS. Quite the cast of characters. Obviously, you're going to get some spicy clips. You're going to get some sound bites. You're probably going to get some drama. But I will warn you guys that, hey, look at this. This volume is turned all the way up on the video. This is as loud as it gets. It's going to be a little bit quieter to my mic. You guys might have turned the video. I'm sorry. I know everyone's always like, oh, turn the volume up on the videos. It's as loud as it can go right now. I'm sorry. But let's take a look at where this all starts. Jensen exposes Alphari for refusing to learn Gwen. Sounds pretty spicy to me.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
Dude, that reminds me when Gwen first came out, right? She was like super OP.
Yeah.
And I had Alphari as top laner, and I think Jad or someone was telling him that he should work on his champ pool and play more champs, and he's basically like, he doesn't need to, doesn't matter. Like, he has counter picks, it's fine.
Oh my god.
He has his own picks.
I hate that mentality so much, man. I hate that mentality so much. It's like,
so that's pretty funny, and this video is probably gonna be long because we got a lot of clips and stuff we watch, so I don't want to let that clip play all the way out, but I think that's pretty funny. One, to show that he wasn't interested in playing the meta champions. Yes, they're talking about Gwen specifically, but also just the fact that Jat told him, hey, maybe you need to expand your champion pool a little bit, and he said, no, I don't need to, I have counter picks. A couple things. Like, one, he didn't want to learn the new champ, he didn't want to learn a meta pick. Two, he's like arguing with his coaches and teammates, not being like, oh yeah, I can try that out, or yeah, we'll see how that goes, or oh, I tried some of these champs and I'm not very good at them, or I didn't work well with them, or I don't think they're that good right now. Just saying, no, I have counter picks, it's fine. Refusing to maybe learn new champions, try new things, work well in a team environment. It doesn't sound like it was just a Gwen issue. It sounds like it could have been other issues as well. But it is kind of interesting that Jensen's, kind of coming out and flaming him a little bit. And it seems like most people have been on Jensen's side, like saying, I know Doublelift and those guys are talking about, oh, Jensen's just telling a story from like the good old days, blah, 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 blah. Like, no, this was just last year, and there was a lot of drama surrounding Alphari and TL and Jat and all these things. And Alphari's still a professional player right now, and Jensen's, trying to work his way back into the professional scene. So I was a little bit surprised that Jensen, kind of said this stuff, and to me, it did come off as him, flaming Alphari a little bit. But Alphari's response, very, very great. I mean, Alphari's a guy who's known for his drama. He's always going to speak his mind. He's great on Twitter. This was actually a tweet that I thought might get deleted, so I screenshotted it because Alphari's known for, tweeting and deleting. But this one, I do believe he kept up. I mean, we'll refresh real quick just to see if it's actually still up. I don't believe it only have 2,700 likes. No, I mean, I don't know. The tweet didn't pop off very well, so maybe it's good I'm covering in this video. But what he tweeted was, looking at this Reddit clip and comments, you'd think Jensen was Jat's biggest fan and wasn't actively pushing for him to get kicked. Now, this is something we had already heard about. Alphari or someone has already talked about this, the fact that, he was not the only one in Team Liquid that was having issues with Jat, that wanted Jat gone, and maybe even went as far as going to Steve and being like, hey, we got to get rid of Jat. This guy's, egomaniac, or just a bad coach or bad leader or whatever, bad for the team. So, I don't really think it's a public's perception that that Jensen loved Jad or anything like that. Alfari does say, quite sure he never had any issues with champs either, which is funny. Throwing some shade back at Jensen, talking about his champ pool. Hey, you want to talk about my champ pool and the champs I won't play? Let's take a look at you. And then he said, retroactively paraphrasing, makes for great content though, which was really, really funny. But a lot of people saw this as Alfari just being kind of salty, or Alfari just having a really, really bad reaction to just like a playful little story or banter or whatever that Jensen was having. Now, I don't know. I think both guys are in the wrong a little bit here. I do not think it was super cool of Jensen to kind of, flame him out of nowhere on a stream like that, especially, again, maybe like 5 years from now. But this recently, I think it's a little bit in bad taste, but is this a great response from Alfari? Absolutely not. Comes across as very salty, kind of weird, pretty cringy. But man, this is some back and forth between two guys who again, were former teammates and again, seem to get along and seem to be on the same team of like, hey, we're anti-Jat, we're sticking together, we like playing together. Now, obviously, Alfari and Team Liquid and Alfari and the LCS and North America in general didn't end on a great foot. He leaves. Doesn't really seem like he misses the LCS or North America or anything like that too much, or probably any of the players or any, whatever. But just kind of funny, kind of interesting. But then, they ended up talking about this yet again on Trash Talk with Doublelift. This is now after the Jensen clip, after the Alfari tweet. Doublelift, brings it up when he actually has a chance to talk with Jensen. Let's see what they have to say now.
I mean, I was talking to Jensen yesterday about. Let's move on to current events. More current events. Did you see the Alfari stuff, Niski? Alfari versus
I saw
Jensen
a bit of it,
fist fight?
that Jensen said that he couldn't play Gwen, that he refused to play Gwen.
There we go.
Jensen said something along the lines of, I stand behind Jad and Alfari's the worst.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I said. Paraphrasing.
Yeah. Dude, that made Alfari look so bad. That tweet.
Yeah, it felt a bit bad because I mean my intentions was definitely not to like go after him anyway. There's like an event in response to this. I don't even remember what we were talking about.
We're
I
talking
think we were
about how
talking
someone
about
refuses to
Championship
play
Pool.
tanks.
And I think that's kind of interesting from Jensen because maybe, he says it wasn't my intention to like go after him or anything like that. But I think that is kind of interesting when, maybe that wasn't what he meant. But especially when you fast forward to now and like the issues that they're having over at Vitality. Vitality's coming off a very, very bad split where Alfari's starting to get some heat. Some people are starting to question his champion pool. And obviously, this seems like it was an issue dating back to TL. It might even be still an issue for Alfari now. And people are questioning his playstyle. People are questioning how good he is. TL kind of had mixed results with him and without him. Overall, I think TL had a pretty good year last year. Obviously, they're one game away from making it out of groups. But he did not have a very good tiebreaker game. He pulls out the Jace when a lot of people think he should have picked Malphite and played for the team. And then now, Vitality didn't do so good in the summer split. He had good laning stats once again, but people are still questioning what he can do for the team. Can you actually win with Alfari? So in that context, flaming him publicly to tens of thousands of viewers about his champ pool and about, him as a top laner, I don't know. Again, I don't think it was a great response from Alfari. And like they say, it did make Alfari look bad. Not a lot of people were on his side. But I don't think Jensen's like 100% in the right here.
He only plays whatever he's good at, and he doesn't learn anything new. And then we're obviously all bringing up examples of like ourselves or our former teammates, and it's like
right. But talking about yourself is different than talking about teammates. Like if you want to talk about yourself, sure. Doublelift talks about, hey, I couldn't really play Senna. That's normal. Jensen saying, hey, I have this teammate who refused to play other stuff. While that guy's still a pro player, that's not great for his reputation.
this response and that, if he does want to respond, most people just fucking, they don't give a fuck, this is like over a year ago, no one's gonna care. But like, if you're gonna say something that makes you look good, you're just gonna say like, I'm not that player anymore. You're not just gonna come up as a big salty baby and be like, oh my god.
You wouldn't say I'm not that player anymore. It was literally last year. It was last spring. It's like the meme where you're like, oh, I'm not the man I was yesterday. Like that, dude. What Double is saying just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
This is Jat fanboy. He didn't even say that you're wrong, by the way. He didn't even say like, no, that's not even
true. It is
true.
funny.
He's like, yeah, that might be true, but Jensen hates Jat.
And that is actually a good point. That is a very, very funny point by Doublelift that, yes, Alfari does not say, no, that is wrong. I would play champions. I have a big champion pool. I can play whatever. He, doesn't deny that. So, maybe Jensen struck a soft spot or struck a chord or whatever with Alfari, which, again, I'm sure he did. I'm sure Alfari feels the pressure right now. I'm sure he's stressed. I'm sure he's not, totally happy or confident with everything that's going on, especially after the rough split of Vitality. But yeah, there might be, a little bit of truth to him not being the best teammate or the best kind of person to work with for coaching staffs or anything like that.
Boom. Headshot.
Yeah,
it's like such a deflect.
I felt a bit personal.
Yeah, that was so weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't have said something. My bad.
No, I mean, I think we should all be allowed to say stuff like that because, bringing up stories in the past, it's all good stuff to learn from, right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
We're always all improving and learning.
It was meant just to be, a funny event from the past that happened. It wasn't meant to
at someone else's expense,
but it didn't come across that way, unfortunately.
Dude, you better hope you don't meet Alfari again IRL.
Yeah,
Wars is in NA, so actually they will not make it.
I don't think Alfari's going.
Yeah, don't worry.
So what do we think about Alfari, guys? Because in NA he was a bit of a meme player.
I don't know him at all.
Yeah, I mean, I actually really liked him as a teammate, so it felt a bit bad that he said this, but...
And I think that's what's really, really interesting there. Jensen says he likes him as a person. He liked him as a teammate. He likes playing with him. So makes it even kind of weirder to me, the fact that he would come out and then call him out publicly instead of defending him publicly or having good things to say, especially at a kind of a weird time for him. And yes, these are still two active pro players. And Jensen says he would like to maybe go back to Europe at some point in his career and play on a top 3 team there. So, not having great relationships with one of the better top laners, one of the better stars out in Europe, doesn't exactly bode well for him. And it just seems like, Jensen might have, put his foot in his mouth a little bit, said some stupid stuff, and now maybe have hurt a relationship with another professional player. There's only 20 professional teams in the West, and these are 2 players that could definitely cross paths again someday. So I don't know. In the end, it's just a really, really weird situation again. I don't think any player comes out of this situation, either player comes out of this situation looking very good, but I thought it was weird that more people were like, fuck Alfari and acting like Jensen didn't kind of do him dirty, at least a little bit too. But I don't know, just my thoughts and opinions. Definitely drop a like if you guys did enjoy this video. This is a video I've been wanting to make for a while. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. You think Jensen's right here? Alfari's right? They're both right? They're both wrong? I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then.